Assalamualaikum everyone. So now we are going to discuss about our next class, which is Sphenopsida. Over here, we are just going to get delve deeper into their characteristics. These are also known as horse tails. Horse tails because they're their sterobili looks like the tail of a horse, due to which we consider them as horse tails as their nickname. Now, when it comes to their structure, they have a like Opsida, they have an underground stem which is known as rhizome, which has several unicellular rhizoids, alongside which they have an stem, erectile or upright stem, which is basically having several walls of branches, walls or several joints or walls in such a manner that if this is a structure, then there will be several walls inside it, which makes it causes to give it a jointed structure, and that jointed structure due to this jointed structure, these are also known as arthrophytes. Arthro joints and phytes plants, those plants which are having jointed branches. So in that sense, these are also known as arthrophytes. Now, when it comes to their leaves is again microphylous. There is no such concept of mega sporophylous and microsporophylous leaves because they are homosporous rather than being heterosporous. Yes. So this is about their structure. Now, when it comes to um, the sporophyte, this is a major structure which is involved in sporophyte, alongside which um, if we talk about their roots, so they have well differentiated roots, and these roots are those which are not arisen from the actually in higher plants we have a structure in the monocot. We have got a structure in the cotyledon. That let's suppose this is the cotyledon. There are two structures arising from cotyledon, one above cotyledon and second below cotyledon. So the structure above cotyledon is known as plumule. Plumule is the region from where the shoots arise, and below cotyledon we have another structure which is known as radicle. That is the structure from where the roots arising. So the roots which arise from the radicle are known as tap roots, which is the ordinary roots which we see in most of our crops, which are the tap roots. But in the primitive plants we have another type of root present, which are arising not from the radicals, rather are arising from another part which we call as. Now these are arising from another part. Roots are arising from another part. Roots are arising from another part, a part other than a radical. Then this part is known as, then these types of roots are known as adventitious roots. Adventitious roots are present in both Lycopsida and Sphenopsida. When it comes to Lycopsida have roots arisen from Lycopsida have roots arisen from the rhizome, due to which these roots are known as, these roots which are arising from the region other than radical, which is rhizome, are known as adventitious roots. But when it comes to the structure of equisetum, the sporophyte has the roots arising from a special structure under beneath the ground, which is known as, although the structure is basically rhizome. Beneath the ground, we have the structure, underground structure as rhizome, but within that rhizome, there are particular parts or points from where the roots arise. The points from which these roots arise are known as rhizidiophore. Rhizidophore. Now, from the rhizidophore, there is arisen of the adventitious roots, and these adventitious roots are then for anchorage and absorption of water and minerals. So in that sense, these are adventitious roots which arise from rhizidiophores. Apart from which, when it comes to another part, we are going to discuss about uh, the sterobolus. The shape of sterobolus is similar to that of a horse tail of a horse, and apart from which, as you may see in the diagram, they have several joints in their stem. They have several joints in their stem. Let me just zoom it a bit. There are several joints. As you may see, it's quite light over here. These are the little joints or walls of branches from where they arise. Now, one more point that I'd like to add over here is that these rhizidiophores are basically present. Actually, these what do we call it? Joints are present in the entire stem, which is under whether it is in the underground stem or in the upright stem. So these walls are present in the stem overall. These, the distance between these two walls is known as internode, and the each wall which is present over here is known as a node. Over a node, we have a specific point which is known as which is known as rhizidophore, and from that point rhizidophore, there is arisal of a root. So this is how the structure of adventitious root is developed. Apart from which, when it comes to another thing I would like to explain over here is that the leaves are microphyllous, as I previously told, and they have sporangia, which are beared on special stalks, which are known as sporangiophore. So this is also a key point over here in terms of MCQs. Now, when it comes to its life cycle is basically based on a single living genus, which is Equisetum. It is the only living genus in this group. So let us discuss that. How does it work like? So here we have the roots. We have rhizome. As you may see, this roots are arising from the rhizidiophore on the rhizome. Now this is the entire structure of what we call as the Equisetum's sporophyte. Now um, within the stereovillus, there is the division of meiosis, division of spore mother cell, meiotic division of spore mother cell, the result of which causes to produce haploid spores. Now, when the haploid spores are produced, they have an additional characteristic which I would like to highlight over here. On the four corners of these spores, there are orange colored sporopollenin made structures on its four corners, which we call as the elaters. The elaters. Now, what is the purpose of these elaters? These elaters are special structures and special characteristic of this group because that helps the spores to helps the spore in movement, and secondly, it also helps in attachment. So attachment to the substrate. So substratum, sorry, attachment to the substratum. In that sense, this is how it is supposed to be utilized. Elater. Now, these elaters which are found over here are attached to a particular substratum and then grow into the gametophyte. When the gametophyte is produced, it is again less conspicuous. It is again less dominant. It has got rhizoids, unicellular rhizoids on the posterior end, and alongside that anthridium and archegonium are present. Now, upon the anthridium and archegonium being you know fused together, also produce zygote, and that zygote basically undergoes multiple repetitive mitotic division, due to which it again causes to produce sporophytes. This is the basic life cycle of Equisetum. Apart from which, we are going to discuss Fusionophyta in the next video.